come on. That is just outrageous bit of skill. Brilliant from Neymar.
Hit it and stay in bounds.
The left shin.
Basketball by Bradley. Oh, John Morant, what a play!
Thompson got away. Curly was there, but momentum.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into a fascinating comparison between two sporting powerhouses, Brazil and the United States. Brazil, known for producing legendary soccer players, has a deep-rooted culture in the sport. But why does the US manage to produce top athletes across multiple sports? In today's video, we're going to be breaking out the differences in athlete development between these two countries. We're going to be focusing on their infrastructure, culture, and resources. Let's get into it. So Brazil, it's synonymous with soccer, right? From Rio, from São Paulo, in the favelas, up on the street, soccer in Brazil, it's everywhere. Since you're a little kid, you start playing soccer. For most Brazilian kids, soccer isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. It's a dream. It's even a path out of poverty. With a history, world-class players like Pelé, Ronaldo, Neymar, and all these young players that are coming up right now, Brazil has definitely its place at the top of world soccer. On the other hand, the United States has a much more diversified sports culture. The US doesn't just excel in one sport, right? But has become a dominant force in sports such as American football, basketball, baseball, swimming, track. The culture around sports are much broader, allowing kids to experiment and specialize in a variety of disciplines. In the US, there's like this system that identifies young talent early and nurtures it. Schools and private clubs offer a wide range of sports, allowing kids to try, different sports and compete at different levels. This diversity gives athletes multiple chances to discover their strength and pursue a path in sports. While in Brazil, soccer, it's pretty much the only sport, not because it's the only sport we have, but because it's a tradition in Brazil. At least one person in your family has had played soccer before, like your grandfather or even your dad. So it's a generational sport. While basketball and volleyball are mostly, popular in certain areas or regions of Brazil, most of the young athletes in Brazil, they need to rely on their own talent, and passion for the sport to even get noticed. I know so many players that I played with that would easily make it to the pro, league, but they didn't because they didn't have that opportunity that they wish they would have. Now, when I came to the US and, start seeing all these high schools with gyms and all of these tools for you to become a great athlete, I was just amazed by it, because growing up, I didn't have that at my school. When we do sports with our PE teacher, where you don't get to decide what sport you want to do, there's kind of like a schedule already set. Here in the US, you kind of get to pick what you want to do, right? I currently work for this company where we do a after school program and we do soccer. So the kids have a certain period of training for soccer and even competing. Then by the time soccer is over, you're gonna have another sport. You're gonna have, volleyball or football, which I think is great, and most of the kids that did play soccer, they also sign up for football or whatever their sport it is, which, help you to decide what you want to do and only get stuck to one sport. That's why I think it was such a great idea for me to come to the US and go to school and play a college league, which is very competitive. It's almost as competitive as a, U20 or U17 league in Brazil. When I came out here, I'm gonna be honest, most of the Brazilians, they think that they're gonna ball out and they're gonna just score so many goals, you're gonna do great. which is not true, you know, because these guys over here, they put in the work. They're working hard, you know, since like even I'll say elementary school, they're already doing they're running around, they're playing around. That's building their stamina. So when they get to high school, they're already kind of prepared. And when you're in high school, it's even more complex. You know, you start hitting the gym, you start, you know, thinking about eating healthier, you know, and when you get to the college level, you're like up here, you know. Your bodies are already developed, you're mentally developed, you know, compared to like me, I came out here straight out of high school. I wasn't like as body built, you know, the other kids I was playing college. So I kind of felt that I was running a little behind, but then that's why I started CrossFit. I think that it helped me a lot. And because all these kids, they're hitting heavy weights, you know, they're eating healthy. And, you know, I just came here. I was training back in Brazil, you know, getting ready to come here. But, you know, it's different if you train for years compared to just training for a certain period, you know, getting yourself prepared to a certain league, you know. So it's way different. And I think because here in the US, sports are such a big business, you know, people will definitely like invest, you know, with like millions of dollars of scholarship that they give out. And like it's such a variety of sports, you know, ensuring that, you know, the best athletes can thrive. So that's why I love the way that the US cares about, you know, sports. And like most of these players I played with here in the US, they're such great athletes, but they don't even think about going pro, you know, because their main focus it's go to school, graduate, and work in whatever they got their degree on. They follow their passion. Now, if you're in school in Brazil and you want to make it pro, unfortunately in Brazil we don't have that opportunity to do sports while you're going to college, which I think is a bummer because you either go to school and focus on going to school, you know, because after you finish high school, you kind of got to decide whether you're going to try to follow your dream, you're going to try to make it pro, or just give up your dream, which I think is very sad because, like I said, there are so many great athletes that, you know, just stopped playing soccer after high school because they didn't have any opportunity. And college is such a great, you know, where you developing yourself like mentally, physically. It's such a great idea, just, you know, stay in sport and even try to make it pro, because even if you don't, at least you had the experience to just, you know, those sports. And later on in the future, when you become an adult, even if you didn't make your pro, you're gonna miss it, right? You're gonna be like, I kind of miss it, you know. I kind of want to like work out again. I kind of wanted that feeling of, you know, game day, or like working hard, working out. You know, it's a win both ways, you know, making it pro and not making it pro. At least you're taking something for the rest of your life, you know, memories, or fall in love with working out. You know, the US is a leader in sports science and technology. From like nutrition, you know, injury recovery, all of these American athletes have the resources. You know, while in Brazil, we don't have that advanced technology to help you to improve, or if we do, you can't access. So why does Brazil dominates in soccer while the US excels in most of the sports? It comes down to culture, infrastructure, and investment. You know, but we as Brazilians, we love soccer, which is something that we kind of created a world-class system for producing top players. But in the other sports, the lack of support and resources holds athletes back, unfortunately. And the US, you know, has developed a great system that will make sure we'll have a chance to specialize and succeed a wide range of disciplines. You know, of course, both of these countries, they have their own strength. You know, we're really good at soccer, and the US is just great at basketball. you know, and all of that is just all culture. And it's really beautiful to see how culture can really affect on the sports landscape and the future of the athletes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on how different cultures shape sports success. See you next time. Ciao. Ronaldo.